I think there's actually a bonus T-proof. I think that's why I said 2. There's a regular and then a bonus. But T-proofs, you know what the answer is supposed to be. So please, 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 if you start the test on the T-proof, some of you are just like, I'm going straight there. Don't get stuck there. Remember, you get partial credit. If you're getting stuck, stop. You gotta get to the rest of the test and then to the T-proof. But if you're agonizing over the rest of the test and then all of a sudden you haven't even touched your T-proof, there's points there, right? You gotta strategize smart. Try not to get stuck places, and if you are, do the best you can, and then move on, and then come back if there's time. I know it's just life lesson, common test-taking strategy, or even like a life problem. Sometimes you do the best you can, you gotta move on. If you can, come back and reevaluate. Here we go, section 5.5. Those were just formulas. The double angle of cosine. Number 10, the key was, well, use the double angle. The one that gets us with squares. They moved it all to the other side. I would have done that too, because I don't like negatives with my squareds. Could have also multiplied everybody by a -1, but once you got squareds, that's a quadratic that we factor in. Go to the unit circle for. Number 10. Looked so similar to a double angle. It was, if you just factored out your GCF. This is like a 5.1 skill. Factor and simplify. Factor and simplify. Hopefully you guys already last night were using that formula page that you made and just looking at those formulas. What can I use? How can I use it? Number 22 was one of those evaluate ones. See, they gave you that fraction. You can make your triangle and use it. To find 2u for a sine, cosine, tangent, I got to get to my formulas because this isn't 2u, it's u. I have to get here and then plug in. Test-taking strategy for tomorrow. I said this earlier, but you might have forgotten. One of the most common mistakes that messes kids up on this type of problem is they rewrite 3/5 inside sine and inside cosine. The cosine goes away as the fraction comes in. Substitution. It's only numbers simplified. There's no more trig once we substitute. 42 is a formula backwards. It's a good test-taking strategy too. We're going forwards and backwards tomorrow. Forwards meaning I need it. All right, go to my formula. Backwards meaning I have it. Ooh, go back. So that's a cosine of u over 2. Aha. Forwards or backwards. We've seen that in 5, 4, 5. Not really 5-2. The formulas weren't that hard yet. Remember, this is on YouTube if you need to, or it will be. You need to check it out. 62, you might not have liked it because it's from those weird formulas at the end. We didn't have to memorize it, but I don't want subtraction or addition equal to 0. No good. I need multiplication. This is one of the key times that sum to product. Those last 2 boxes that will be on your page tomorrow, but you didn't have to memorize. When solving, this is the key time to make it times, because now all of a sudden, ooh, multiple angle. I guess multiple angle could be like a bonus. I don't think it's regular if it's on there. Maybe that's more of an honors bonus. Anyway, multiple angle, kind of messy. But this idea of splitting up, setting equal to, possible if you could just make the sum a product, and you can from your formulas. Kimia.
Is this supposed to be less than 5?
Yeah.
The 62 and 70 aren't on this.
Oh! You guys are spoiling on. I did them all. Okay, did we end way back up here then?
Yeah.
42 is the last one?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, bummer.
65 was less.
Well, he's on. Okay. Never mind. Thanks, Kimia. I mean, that was just a plug-in. Oh, some of you were stuck on that one. Different ways of doing it. And I think, I don't know why I have so many blank pages, but there's that review. Is that the same as what was on Google Classroom? Let's just forget it. Let's go to Google Classroom. Yeah, about right. Google Classroom, starting in the beginning, starting 5.1, 5.2, 5.3 with the easier formulas, and then getting 5.4, 5.5 with the harder formulas. I think I've given pretty much as many test hints as I want to. just waiting. Aiden, we just need to talk really quickly after I start letting people work because you guys haven't taken your 5152 quiz. And I want everyone else to be able to study from there. So that's a kind of awkward dilemma that you guys have never made it up. But for the rest of you guys, we've talked about what the test looks like, multiple choice, and then a couple long answer. I hinted at over there. We've talked about some of the tricky things like product to sum and sum to product will only be on there like once or so. We've addressed the triangle problems when you see the fractions, how to use it, and the dilemma there. I even reminded you of that nasty plugging in problem, which isn't that hard if only you didn't make the common mistake of killing a puppy. And there's a bonus. Okay, as far as being prepared for tomorrow and knowing what's coming, I think I'm pretty good there as far as giving you guys the information and having the formula page ready for you. I'll do that as well. But I do want to make sure that there aren't any like burning questions in 5.5, whatever I did end up giving you, or the review for those of you that have started it. Anything that we need to address? Yeah.
Review, I just don't remember review 17.
Okay. Anything earlier in section 5.5 before we just jump to the review?
33, the one with like the
Ooh, yeah. Because if you saw one like, we'll just peek at 33 fast. Because if you see one like this tomorrow, you're like, I can't do sine, cosine, tangent of any of these guys because they're not in the unit circle. But remember, if they're not in the unit circle and I'm using the word exact, which will be on the test tomorrow. No approximates because no decimals, because no calculators. There must be a way. So, Vanessa, I'm not going to go super crazy because I don't think there are any. Oh, never mind. It says it up here. It says half angle. So it's thinking that, can I just choose one just as an illustration? If I want to find sine of 75, I'll make it big. I can't do it with the unit circle. So much. I see it as either 30 plus 45 and use my sine of u plus v formula. Someone brought that up yesterday. Like there is another variation of how we could solve this. Or, according to the directions, they told me think about it as 150 over 2. 150 and 30 and 45 are all in the unit circle. I can handle it if I use the sum or difference or if I use the half angle. I can't handle it in the beginning. So what they were meaning, I think to be honest, it's a little bit harder than anything tomorrow in the sense of making you just go randomly use a formula. But they wanted you to use the sine of u over 2 formula, which has that plus or minus square root. Did they get it right in the quiz? 1 minus cosine of u, this thing. All over 2, which we're not used to degrees, so it might be easier to realize that's 5 pi over 6. It's this guy. So cosine is 1, 2, 3, 3, 2, 1. Oh, pi over 6. Sorry. Root 3 over 2. Cosine's negative in that quadrant. All over 2. And now we have some simplifying to do as far as the complex fraction, but that's the main idea as far as solving, besides the fact that we need to remember that we're not looking at 150, we're really looking at 75. So when I go to choose my sign at the very end, I'm thinking first quadrant where everybody's positive. So you have to make that choice at the end yourself. Think of what quadrant and attach the sign. But otherwise you're doing stuff like maybe getting common denominators, where you can get 2 plus root 3 all over 2 times the reciprocal underneath that square root. And then the nice thing of 2 times 2, which is 4, it has a square root. So I can actually take that, and that square root's only in the top where it's totally legal and necessary to have. So you're plugging into that half angle formula with the angle 150. So then, Nikki, you're in the review, and you're saying number 17. You're like, I don't know what's going on, right?
Well, I know you want to plug it in, but I messed up now.
Ooh, she found you guys a plug-in in one?
I don't know.
Yeah, she did. You guys are spoiled rotten. Nicely done, Nikki.
So I think I gave multiple hints a second ago about plugging in issues with a square root. I see a square root, and you said plug in. So what happens when we plug in?
See mistake number 1 made on the code? Something similar. Who's getting squared? The whole thing. So if you're plugging in, it should have become 25 minus sine squared. Or if you were showing the plugging in, it should have done 25 minus parentheses. A lot of you, either by not writing the parentheses or by going too fast and not thinking about the parentheses, automatically we're kind of stuck because you just had a 5 when they should have been a 20. Mistake number 2. Distribute that square root and say, of course it means times. Can I say it's 5 minus 5 sine? No. But I can. Emma, this was you way back in the day. Do you remember what to do with that 25? What do you get? 1. She was the one that gave us that hint of factoring way back. We did it the first time. Because I still can't distribute that square root. I can say it's a 5 something, but I have to go ahead and change that to be Pythagorean cosine squared. All of a sudden, now life is good. I can square root a square. It's just going to be, and I gave full credit if you got a similar type problem. That, but some of you were amazing. Maybe I should have given you bonus, or I was like, well, you're more right. If you've got the absolute value, also because the plus or minus in the log with square roots. And the places that you guys are stuck or things you're seeing in the review where they're like, hey, we've talked about this. Can we do it? Yeah. 27? On the review, right then? Cool. So the next page.
Directions are solve. Nice. That's a good, straightforward section 5.3 In T-proofs, verify. Are we allowed to move stuff around?
No. But in this guy, when it's solved, are we allowed to move stuff around? Oh yeah, without it, we're kind of sunk. So I would, remember, when I get to, it was the words I wrote on the board that one day. We want to get a single trig alone, and sometimes the key to that is combining like terms like this one. You can say 1 sine of x plus 1 sine of x is 2, and all of a sudden life gets a lot nicer. Because now I can get that trig isolated. Now hold on the board, there were 2 steps. Get the trig alone, and then what did we have to do? Finish.
Look to the... So at this point, we have to just kind of figure out which directions we're doing. Are we doing the infinitely many, or did they give us an interval? Since they didn't give us an interval, it must be the other one. So then we're thinking in the unit circle, I go to my SOHCAHTOA 1, 2, 3 to look up and figure out, oh, it's the pi over 3, guys. That cheater chart can be nice going backwards. That's a positive, and all are positive, but where else is sine positive? So I need that pi over 3, and I also need that pi over 3. And I'll do just add 2 pi in. And this isn't one of those funny ones where there's really like a great way to make it shorter, sweeter, and change up pi's and whatnot. We're done. And sorry, so technically it's x equals because we've done like the sine inverse consideration. You guys see anything else in the review that sounds like test problems or things that you're stuck on? Okay, we're getting close down to the end. Zway and Aiden, come to me really quickly because we need to have a strategy. I really want to go there. So my down notes, I want to hand back the quizzes and what you guys have. So. Your name.
I see the big face. And so wait, I'm gonna pass them outside and let's just hope that we find it. It would be weird if it got stuck. Right, it wasn't John. Another TA wrote it down. He might have just missed it. I just want to get these back so you guys can study, because one of the best studying things is I did a quiz on it and I missed that. Oh, I might do it on the test too. Yeah. So just from section 5. Vanessa, there you go. Vanessa, when you hear your name, come on down. Nathan, what's up? Ivy? Kimia, come on down. Dylan, come on down. Kayla?
You should be dividing it by -2, not +6.
I added it this way.
You're adding
1 plus 1. There you go. Jack, Nathaniel, Ariana. Got someone else just like Ariana.
That's actually a lot better than I thought I'd do.
Colby, sorry, come to me. Spencer, come to me. Sorry, new Steve. Emma? Brandon? Lucas? Sid?
Wait, what is correct?
Right after section 5 too. Oh yeah, so yours is right here. It's at the very bottom of the stuff. Laura? It was a baby quiz. The big thing is tomorrow. Would you make the same mistake again? If so. Oh! By tomorrow, will you make this mistake again? I hope not.
Are we keeping